Hello there, my name is Luke and welcome to the Non-League podcast. I'm here today with the Maidenhead fan. Introduce yourself.
Hello, it's me, the Maidenhead fan.
So we did a podcast like this. We did it last week on the Maidenhead fans channel. I'll put a link to that video and his channel in the description. So let's get started straight away, and we'll start with the FA Cup because this weekend is the first round of the FA Cup. There's a lot of non-league teams involved, so we'll just be talking about some of the non-league teams that are involved. So first of all, on Friday night, Eastleigh of the National League are playing Swindon Town in League One. This game, I believe, is live on TV, so a big game for Eastleigh. Going to get a lot of money from it, even though they don't really need it because they've got a lot of money. What games stand out to you?
Well, definitely Westfield's game at home to Curzon Ashton is definitely a standout. Two non-league sides though, but Westfield's the lowest ranked team left in the competition. That should be an interesting game for them.
So also Merstham of the 7th tier, I do believe. They're playing Oxford of League One at home. Huge game for them. They're going to have a sellout stadium. I think that one's on TV as well, actually. So potential for an upset. That's the sort of game that if there was an upset, we'll be talking about it for years. Same with Westfields, as you mentioned, 9th tier. Incredible that they're already at this stage of the competition. That's pretty insane. Then Taunton Town, another lowly ranked side, playing against National League side Barrow. And anything else you'd like to add?
Well, having a look at the fixtures, one thing I noticed is Peterborough v Cheshire United. Cheshire United, obviously giant killers in last year's tournament. With Bobby Hales in their ranks, I think he's 45 years old. Former when they played Bristol Rovers, he's a former Bristol Rovers player. Chesham are good cup run team, and so
Well, that's very exciting. Definitely excited for this weekend's FA Cup, particularly myself supporting Kidderminster Harriers. We are playing away at Blackpool. Hopefully I'll be able to do a match day vlog of that game. But it's a football league ground, so the rules are a bit dodgy in terms of filming inside the ground. So hopefully that'll be okay. But that's something to look forward to, definitely. So let's talk about some signings that happened in the last week. And the first one is in the National League South, and it is Jamal Lowe of Hampton and Richmond Borough. He's been on fire this season, scored a lot of goals, and he's been a real reason why Hampton and Richmond are so far up the league. And he has been picked up by Portsmouth. He will join them in January. Joseph, you watch the National League South. What do you think?
he's a good, exciting player. Former Football League player for Newport County and Barnet. He's a good player, definitely. He's 20 years old. He's got a lot of potential for the professional game. He's got good pace on him. He's definitely a really good player. He scored twice against us when we played Hampton and Richmond Borough away. He's a good prospect and a good pickup by Portsmouth, definitely.
Definitely, yeah. So another big signing that I've noticed is James Wesolowski signing for Guiseley in the National League. Wesolowski is 29 years old, really, really experienced, real quality player as well, formerly in the Football League for a lot of years, and I'm surprised that he's dropped down as low as Guiseley. I think it's mainly because Guiseley's manager is a former teammate of his. They both played together at Oldham, so it's a very, very good signing for Guiseley. Will definitely help them get out of the relegation zone potentially of the National League and possibly help them keep up. They've picked up a bit recently. So let's move on to the scores from the last week, and we'll start off in the National League. And the most notable one that I've noticed is Barrow beating Eastleigh 4-0. What a result that is for Barrow. 4 goals in the second half, including a Byron Harrison hat-trick, has sent Barrow up right into the playoffs. Eastleigh, with all their money, they still can't get into the top few in the league. So they're struggling a bit. Anything that you like to add? Any scores that you've noticed?
Well, definitely, what a result for Barrow. To beat Eastleigh, cash, money, a massive team full of money is basically definitely a massive boost for them in the meantime. And Dagenham and Redbridge drawing 1-1 with Forest Green is a top of the table clash. which promised a lot, but 1-1 is a fair result, really, I think.
Yeah, I think both teams will not be too unhappy with that result. None of them would have wanted to lose, but I think Dagenham will be happy to be the happier of the teams going away to Forest Green and picking up a point. So moving down to the National League North, and a real standout is the first loss of the season for AFC Fylde. They've been unbeaten up to this point. After 15 games, they hadn't lost yet, but in their 16th match, they played away at Tamworth and they lost 1-0. So a brilliant result that is for Tamworth, because AFC Fylde have been outstanding this season. I thought they would actually go the whole season unbeaten the way that they were going and the way that they play, but they've now been beaten. Also, Darlington beat Harrogate 4-1. Two teams that were in the playoffs before the match. So Darlington, they're on absolutely brilliant form, scoring for fun. Harrogate have now lost 5 in a row. They were second in the league a few weeks ago, but they're all the way down in 6th or 7th. No, they're in 8th, actually. Incredible. So, yeah, anything you'd like to add?
Well, out of all the fixtures I see, FC United of Manchester being beaten at home 4-2 by Gloucester City. That's a good result for Gloucester City, definitely. Halifax being beaten 3-1 at home by Brackley Town. That's a good result for Brackley Town. Obviously, Halifax, they're wanting to get back up into the National League where their fans feel they belong. And obviously, being FA Trophy winners, that might have boosted them a bit. But that's really a reality check for them, as Brackley Town are a decent team, but that they shouldn't be losing at home, really.
No, they shouldn't. So if we want to move down into the National League South, obviously a league that you know really well, so do you want to start?
So definitely, there were a few really good fixtures on Saturday. Let's start with Concord Rangers drawing 2-2 to Chelmsford City. This was a massive game. Chelmsford, they needed to take the points to close up to Maidenhead United, but they didn't. Sam Collins with the brace for Concord Rangers. Concord Rangers are obviously relegation threatened, and that was a massive result for them. And also, there was a 2-2 draw. Maidenhead United, the league leaders, coming from 2-0 down at their own ground, at our own ground, to Hungerford Town. Louis Soares scoring twice, early goals, defensive errors by Maidenhead mainly, but the character they showed to come back to get 2-2 was immense. That's why I think if we carry on games like this, we will win the league for sure, and I think we will stay up in the National League next season if that happens. Any standout fixtures for you on the list?
Definitely, I think St Albans versus Truro. It was a 5-0 emphatic victory over Truro. Truro did fairly well last season. I think they finished in the playoffs.
Yeah,
so,
they did.
They've not been doing well this season at all. They're right down there near the bottom. But St Albans, 5 wins in a row. They're scoring a lot. They're not letting too many in. They are up in 4th in the league. Season is going really well for them so far.
That must be a massive boost for them. They're going into the FA Cup this weekend. Massive confidence boost for their players. Also, another standout fixture was Weston-super-Mare losing 3-1 at home to Hampton and Richmond Borough. They've got a new manager, Weston. Their squad's changing rapidly, but Hampton winning, they've now reduced the points gap for them to Maidenhead United to 7 points now from 9, I think. But it was a good result for Hampton, and yeah, so that's all the really big fixtures in the National League South. So yeah.
What we are going to go and look at the FA Trophy now, I do believe.
So there are a few good results in the FA Trophy. Slough Town won 4-1 against semi-finalists of last season at home, Bognor Regis Town. They had a loanee, Elijah Adebayo, from Championship side Fulham. He scored a hat-trick for them. 4-1, that's an emphatic result for Slough. And they've been drawn away in the draw to Merthyr Town. That's a long route for them, but as challengers for the Southern Football League title. I believe that is a good result for them, and really, the FA Trophy is a big competition for them.
Definitely, for all the lower teams that are in it at this stage, to have a good FA Cup run, not only financially, but the prospect of getting to Wembley is just massive. Same with the FA Vase. The prospect of little teams that really play in small crowds, only a few hundred people at every match, to get to Wembley is just huge for their fan base and for the club, and financially as well. So that's it for this podcast. If you've enjoyed this podcast and would like to see another one, we did one last week over on the Maidenhead Fans channel. It will be in the description. And next week, hopefully, we'll have another podcast up on the Maidenhead Fans channel. We'll do it alternating weeks on each channel. So if you've enjoyed this video, then make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to not only my channel, but the Maidenhead Fan. And thanks for watching.
Thank you.